horror fans, and welcome to another episode of Silver Screams. Tonight we are talking about Scream Queens Season 2, Episode 4, Halloween Blues.
They always do really fun Halloween episodes.
They do. Chanel-O-Ween is really the best time of the year.
Oh my god.
Because it's still a parody on the whole Swiftmas thing, which is Taylor Swift going around to fans and being like, oh yes, here I'm showering you with, I don't know, whatever it is that Taylor Swift showered them with.
Gifts?
Probably. But because 2016 was so horrible to everyone, including Chanel, she was just like, nope, you're all garbage, and I want you all to know that.
She said, like, one of them was, you're the reason that euthanasia should be made legal. You're everything I hate about everything. Like, wow.
I like the personal visit that she made where, like, they literally squirted
Corpse smile.
in the face.
I
don't know the behind the scenes production side for this one and for last year's. I was trying to look it up but I couldn't find it. But I really hope those are Scream Queen fans, like people who like follow the Instagram and like happen to get picked for something like this, because you get to be on a TV show.
Yeah, that's really funny.
I have no idea if that's actually the case. I would like to believe it is. So I'm gonna.
Good Lord, she sent me a bag of diseased horror hearts.
I forgot about that one.
That's pretty fun.
Diseased horror hearts. Oh.
Like, how? Yeah.
That seems like all kinds of illegal.
I don't have enough horsepower up here right now to make that work.
No, I don't have a joke.
Hamsters are running in the wheel and it's not going anywhere.
I don't have a joke for it either. It's just hilarious.
It's just fucked up.
But the wake of this episode is, of course, with Chad being dead and the ramifications that has on all the characters. Of course, Chanel and Denise are heartbroken. Dean Munch is now inexplicably rich. And I feel like everybody else is pretty ambivalent.
There's some foul play involved in that.
Like,
there really seems to be, he called me the morning of the day he died and asked to change his will and put it, we're leaving it all to Dean Munch in the hospital for reasons that she knows. It's like,
yeah, and
that smells like foul play.
And supposedly she and John Stamos were having sex at the time of the murder. I don't know how well that checks out. Obviously, because his airtight alibi is her, and she's the beneficiary of Chad's will, because his entire family's also dead.
Yeah, which I kind of love that they just ignominiously killed them off screen.
I gotta say, it is a little sad in retrospect, I think, because, correct me if I'm wrong, did Alan Thicke play his dad last season?
I don't know. I don't actually know.
I feel like I might be making that up because it's been a while, but I feel like he did, and that's sad. We're not going to touch on that. Not going to touch on that, but it is sad in retrospect. Obviously, that hadn't happened by the time this episode aired, but neither here nor there. Point being, again, the Dean is the beneficiary of
everything.
Of the
everything.
Like his entire
fortune.
Exactly. I wanted to call him Rockwell just now for some reason. I have no idea why.
I'm pretty sure that was the point.
I was like,
there's the joke. There's the joke.
But and as we know from the last season, it wouldn't be the first time that the Dean put a wrench in things and everybody kind of chalked it up to, the masked killer that was going around. And she got away with it. Killing her ex and framing an innocent girl for it. Like, she got away with it, and it was awesome, but it's also terrible. And this puts her in probably the best position she's been in so far since her disease was diagnosed. Because if there's any way to find a cure, more money is the way to do it. So, substantial financial backing is going to be the way to find it.
Well, and it's not like they haven't found any cures in this hospital. They keep finding cures, and then people keep dying.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So they can't...
It's a sad pattern because they are, against all odds, successful for a lot of these.
Yeah, so that may very well be what the Green Meanie is trying to accomplish, is that might be his motive for killing the patients, is because they are successfully being healed by the hospital, and he wants this hospital to die. So
for some godforsaken reason.
again, I love that the dean just threw out like, oh, well, it clearly can't be the son of that one person. And it's like, no, there's absolutely nothing
saying that
nothing indicating that it's not. It just might not be a person that we've seen yet.
I'm starting to get really tired of Hester's cat and mouse game. Like, I love her as a character. It's so much fun to watch her be full
Hannibal
scenery
Lecter,
chewing.
yeah.
Well, Ghostface levels of scenery chewing. Really good Hannibal Lecter impersonation, but the I know and you don't, I know and you don't, I know this, and it's like, just stop. Just stop. So as a viewer, I'm getting really tired of that. The answer's right there, but she's just being a jerk about it. Like, I'll bet she doesn't know.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if, she had absolutely no idea. She's like, oh no, that was just a lucky guess when I was in the asylum. I had a lot of time to think.
Or she was just playing the hell out of them. Like,
She might have been bluffing,
wild card where they're having a lot of fun with it, but I'm not entirely certain they know what to do with her. That said, with Denise's death, she's on the loose.
Yeah, exactly.
Because on the loose and does not have to check
nobody
in.
else knew about that particular deal. And not only that, but Hester being...
Well, no, the dean knew. She told the dean.
That's fair.
Because the whole thumbs up emoji.
That's true. But then you knock off the dean, nobody knows. Or, but yeah, there's nobody to kind of keep tabs on Hester now. So that's going to be interesting. Not to mention that her running around the hospital made for one of the best, like, framing shots I think this series has done. And I say that knowing this series does a lot of really great things with its framing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The DP, I need to freaking look up who the DP is, because this person is freaking stellar.
So here's my question. We had, earlier in the episode, we had it revealed that it was Hester running around in the Ivanka Trump costume and that she was the one that went after Chanel. Do we think it was still Hester in the scene with number 5, or do we think Chanel got in there? Because Chanel disappeared. We had a big moment of where is Chanel?
And then we cut to the seance scene.
Oh, that's right, I'm an idiot.
But you make a good point, because, I mean, after that, she and Denise got separated, so, I don't know. And then lo and behold, Denise is the one that ends up dead. Interesting. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, one of the best framing shots with her raising the knife and then lowering it just as the green meanie that is raising his machete. Really well done.
I feel really bad for number 5. And I can't remember which scene it was. There were 2 different moments in this episode where someone said something and her facial expression in the background was just... One of them was Chanel talking about, my friends are terrible, and 3's
and
just
she
like,
just
yeah, whatever. And one's just like, and 5's just like...
She's so sad.
But there was another one, I can't remember.
It was after Chanel turned blue, and number 3 was saying something salty, and Chanel had her head turned, and Chanel number 5 just gets this adorable,
she's just
elated smile on her face, where it's just like, I feel like she doesn't really experience true joy very often.
I feel like it was something about, like, royalty wore blue, or like, ancient Egyptians.
Oh, it was the cats! It was the cats!
Are we gonna worship every cat we see? She's just like, oh. I'm like, I love you. I feel really, really bad for number 5. Like, her life absolutely sucks.
That being said, I actually think that this attack from the green meanie was not meant to kill her. In a really weird way, I don't think he has a soft spot for her specifically, but I don't think he has any intent towards her either.
We saw it go in at the shoulder, and it hit lung, esophagus, something, because she was coughing up blood. And you don't just vaguely start dramatically coughing up blood unless there is blood where blood is not supposed to be.
But this is a guy who, he completely left her alone when he decapitated the other patient. And then here, he made a point to kill Denise, which we're gonna have to talk about the implications of that too, because goodness gracious, it's sad to see her go. But yeah, he made a point to kill Denise, who had gotten the better of him earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
So that, I'm sure, was part revenge and part, oh, I gotta take out this person who actually has a chance to fight back.
Yeah.
and left
FBI
Chanel.
agent.
Yeah, left Chanel number 5 on the floor and walked away when he's used to making sure his victims are dead.
He double taps.
Yeah, he's very good at double tapping,
Taps.
making sure that head comes completely off, making sure that officer is completely electrified, etc., etc. So why leave Chanel number 5 alive?
Because reasons. Because he's in love with her. Who even knows? We've had the same level of insults about you weren't FaceTiming, no one wants to see your face, and there was this, and there was, the same level of Chanel being awful to number 5, but I wonder if the green meanie doesn't have a thing for her.
You know what would be kind of awesome, talking about Scream?
I stabbed you because I love you.
Wouldn't it be awesome if, because we were talking a lot about Chanel number 5 suffering a lot of abuse in this episode, and at one point I was like, eventually she's going to be pushed to murder. And I'm wondering, wouldn't that be interesting if she and the Green Meanie were working together, and this was a Stu Billy Loomis sort of deal of I'll stab you, that way no one suspects you.
Well, and it also gets Ivanka off her.
Exactly. Because, if Ivanka, which insert Trump jokes that are now more relevant than they were in October.
The whole thing about the dystopian regime, whatever. She had a really good little monologue there right before she got stabbed. And it was just
I know this was supposed to be throwaway because it's more of a scene tension thing, but
and then also that the head of the propaganda department comment was too real, guys, too real. Oh man,
that's Bannon's job.
Also security now. Not to get into that whole thing and the idea that man's
this on January 31st.
Yep,
January 31st.
That man now has the power to do U.S. assassinations. Why am I drinking non-alcohol?
This has been your Real Talk intermission. Now back to the fun
Back
shit.
to the show. Back to the murder.
When the murder is the fun shit, we got problems.
We could just start singing Hamilton tunes because the entire cast of Hamilton came.
So many white people dressed as Hamilton characters. What's wrong with you?
I mean, tell me that doesn't also make sense.
Oh no, people.
I wanna be in the room where it happens.
Yeah,
the room
but
where it
oh my
happens.
god, so many white people dressed as Hamilton characters.
Yeah.
It's not for you.
But I did
I say that as a white person.
I feel like it is for everyone to enjoy, but yeah, it's like
It wasn't made for white people. We can like it, but it wasn't made for us.
But anyway, point being, we get an entire group of Hamiltons coming in. I did like that the dean dressed as Hamilton.
I didn't recognize it either. I'm like,
at first, I kind of thought it was the lawyer from Far Away, and then turns around and it's Jamie Lee Curtis dressed as Hamilton. I was like, I kind of like that.
I didn't recognize it as Hamilton. I thought he was
Paul Revere,
Pirates of the Caribbean captain whose name escapes me
Norrington.
right now. Norrington.
Oh, Norrington.
I just couldn't place it. It was like, I'm Hamilton. I'm like, oh, it's the hat.
I did love, again, the conversation, though. Hamilton, the Broadway musical. Never heard of it.
Musical theater.
And just Chanel number 3 saying, it redefined musical theater. How do you not know that?
Her being dressed up as Death, so I can get close to it. Maybe even love it. And then just Ryan Lochte with the awful spray dye. Oh my god. I still have a picture of that sign that was outside the pub. Because the whole him making up the story about being assaulted
Being mugged,
thing.
yeah.
I have a picture of a chalkboard sign outside of a pub saying, he's back in the States, now's the perfect time to mug Ryan Lochte. And I was like, and click.
I mean,
Keep
not
that
wrong.
forever.
We're
not advocating violence. It was just a really funny sign.
It was a funny sign. And I did love his deadpan delivery of, I think Zayde's costume is offensive. I feel like it's not appropriate that she came as ISIS.
Like,
different ISIS,
the
guys!
Egyptian goddess. Like, Yeah, no, that's legit. She had a really good costume.
She had a cute costume, for sure. They all had adorable costumes. Like, they were all well done.
I love, what are you? The script to Batman v Superman. You look like a bloody mess. I'm like...
Also,
that was a seal clap moment for
also
me.
not wrong. And then, of course, Denise dressing as Khaleesi.
Where my boat's at?
Where my dragons at? Where my boats? Where my dragons?
Where my boat's at? Khaleesi!
Good stuff. But okay, yeah, let's talk about Denise in this episode because it's almost, kind of fitting that she got probably some of the biggest laughs in this episode. This was a really good episode for this actress, and I feel like they did that intentionally because
they knew it was her last.
It's the last time. And
unless we get a crazy seance moment with her too, because...
Yeah, because we had that wonderful monologue from her at the very beginning where she's saying goodbye to Chad, and by wonderful monologue, I mean she's funny. She's a funny actress.
And just checking the rigor mortis. Yeah, all right. And then walking away, running a hand down the body, and then scooting back a little bit.
Scooting back.
That was
and even like leaning in to kiss him and then going, yeah, like no. I was like, please don't, and then she did that.
This isn't protocol. This is kid protocol. This is everything. It goes against everything I learned at Quantico and everything I learned from watching the show Quantico.
And then, of course, there's the seance scene where it cut back and forth between Chad, dressed in his normal attire, Chad dressed as her, in
the
Khaleesi's outfit,
costume.
and then her with Chad's
like Chad.
ADR. So good.
Oh my god, that entire scene was just... And I'm sure he had to sit down and deliver the entire monologue 3 different times.
Yeah, no.
Or twice, and then she had to do it.
These were 14-hour
over.
days, for sure. But so I think this is a really good way to say goodbye to both of these actors for the show, because they both had, killing Chad was very abrupt. But like killing Chad and then allowing his ghost and allowing flashback scenes in this episode, and then killing off Denise. Yeah, it's a really good send-off for both of these characters.
Killing Denise is very much a no one is safe. Like, you got that a little bit with Chad, but Chad had also outlived his bit in the story. Denise? No.
No,
I
mean,
no one is safe, regardless of what season they're from.
I will say I was very much over her constantly blaming Zayday for literally everything and trying to pin everything on Zayday.
Zayday is like the one sane man in this mess.
Exactly. She's the only one that makes any sense around this
and
insane
before anyone
asylum.
comments about it, one sane man is the name of the trope. I gotcha.
But it's true. She's the only one that even comes close. She and the dean are the only ones
and
that
potentially murder hand doctor.
Yeah, they come closest to acting like normal people, but like even the dean.
I mean, like medically competent.
Oh, that. Yeah, no, she calls
and Taylor Lautner, like they are the medically competent group, but in terms of well-adjusted human beings, it's her.
Yeah. It's basically
potentially the guy with the happy cart as well, but it's her.
What's his name? What's his name? Oh gosh, I don't remember. Chamberlain. Thank you.
I knew it was.
He was just like Mario earlier in the episode.
Yeah,
that was great.
It was 3 syllables in British. I just didn't remember. Yeah, he might also be well-adjusted. We don't see a lot of Chamberlain.
We really don't.
Which, unless we start seeing more of him, makes me want to mark him off the suspect list, because otherwise there's no payoff.
Exactly.
We don't know who you are, but you're the killer.
I hate to say it, because I like him, and because we just lost a black actress in this show. I feel like he's just cannon fodder, which is such a bummer.
Unless we start getting more about him one way or another.
Because, I mean, in these past few episodes, Zayday has sort of taken not necessarily a back seat, but the focus is still very much on the really big and loud, I'm Chanel-O-Ween, it's all about me, while Zayday's quietly saving lives going, hey, no, this doesn't make sense. Give me 12 minutes and I will find the actual solution.
You have 10.
Okay, cool.
As opposed to giving them something that will metastasize into metabolize, wrong word, into cyanide and, you know, potentially kill them because that's what
I was
cyanide
gonna say,
do.
yeah, if they had just listened to John Stamos from the get-go, like, everyone...
No one would have been cured, and they would also be
Super
10 flavors
poisoned.
of messed up and potentially dead.
Super poisoned.
And his first thing is like, oh, it's a fungus that grows on the apples. All right, but did you take the time to stop and talk to Snow White about?
Nope.
Like, I get that you have to act with some expedience in a medical situation, especially one like this. Like, yes.
Yeah.
But also, you gotta
And
do your research.
I mean, it wasn't a bad conclusion. Like, I was
No.
actually very impressed. I'm like, very smart man. But Zeta just happens to have a little bit of that, like, you know, good instinct of, like, maybe this isn't what we're seeing on the surface.
Well, and the instinct of maybe we should not feed them proto-cyanide. Unless we absolutely have to. I feel like if cyanide had not been a factor in it, if
She probably
we
would have
might
just
mess
rolled
the
with it,
heck
yeah.
out of, oh yeah.
Yeah, because there would have been no immediate danger in that capacity.
Yeah, but this one is cyanide. Like, oh guys.
Yeah. But like,
Which, by the way, don't eat apple seeds. Cyanide. If you eat enough of them.
I was gonna say you would have to eat a lot for that to like.
You would not believe the shit that Whole Foods sells and tries to pass off as healthy. They are selling.
They sell apple seeds for
They
you
are
to eat.
not apple seeds. They're selling a different kind of seed. I can't remember which one it was, but it's one of the ones that's like, don't eat these. They're poisonous.
Don't
And
go to
they
Whole Foods.
dry them and season them and then sell them, and then on the package it says, do not eat more than like 2 or 3 a day. Who reads
We are
that?
literally selling you poison.
Yeah. It's just like,
Don't go to Whole Foods. They're more expensive anyway. Go to Trader Joe's.
yeah, Whole Foods is whole paycheck.
Exactly. That's
This episode's sponsored by, no.
sponsored by Trader Joe's. I wish.
No, we're not. We like them, but no, we're not.
Nope. I should be eating like plantains while we're here. Anyway, so like, where were we in terms of? I was talking about Zayday like coming to the conclusion, to the right conclusion,
Yeah.
which this whole thing seems to have not. Again, this guy supposedly wasn't trying to kill all these people.
No.
Although, if they had gone ahead with the cyanide thing,
It would have killed.
it
all
would
those
have killed
people.
all those people. But yeah, he was just trying to create a distraction. Was that a distraction solely to kill Denise? Or is there kind of a power play going on between whoever the Green Meanie is right now and Hester, who is now kind of,
A player.
who is now an active, moving player on this
who's on the
chessboard?
list.
Yeah.
You know who we haven't seen in a month of Sundays? The head of nursing.
Yeah, where's Kirstie Alley in all this?
Too expensive?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't either, but it feels like we introduced a whole bunch of new characters at the beginning of the season, and we're not getting much of them at all. So if it winds up, like, if they get killed, we go, oh, okay. And if the killer winds up being one of them, it's the same, oh, okay. Like, we're gonna need some more character development from some of our newer and lesser seen characters if we're gonna give a damn.
Which is
Laying it
why
out there.
they killed Chad and Denise in these last 2 episodes
Because we gave a damn.
well, yeah, it's to say nobody's safe. We cared about them. They were funny. Like, even if you didn't like them as people, they were funny actors.
Oh, yeah.
I will miss them both because they brought a certain level of humor that I don't think can be imitated. All the other actors bring other elements of humor, but I will miss these
you can't
two.
really replace
No.
either of the characters.
No. So I will miss their brand of humor. Nice try.
I tried. I tried to put the cat on my lap. She wasn't having it.
Yep. Do you have some opinions about this episode, Winter?
No.
Yeah, no. She's like, it wasn't up to par.
Our third co-host is like, None of this lap sitting business. We have a weird cat.
Very
Anyway.
much so. But yeah, so I'm bummed to see Denise go for sure. But again,
she was a ton of fun.
really great performances in this episode.
And yet
Nice
Chanel
send-off.
number 5 is still around.
Yeah.
Provided she doesn't bleed out.
Or suffocate on her own
But
blood.
someone else could find a reason to peel away and find her. Like whoever is the Green Meanie could, if they're on the medical staff, could find a reason to peel off and find her and be like, oh my god.
Yeah, again, I'm like, there's got to be some connection there because he clearly doesn't. Again, he might not have a fondness for her, but he definitely doesn't want to kill her. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Easily distracted, not as much of a fighter. I mean,
Ooh, shiny.
Chanel in a corner will beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Like, she is absolutely willing to fight. She's not a great human being.
I mean, we saw that when Hester was chasing her, she got stabbed in the leg, but she took off her shoe and tossed it square in between her eyes. It was fantastic.
Well, we got that last season as well. It was like, you guys run, I'm taking on the Red Devil because forget this noise.
Yeah, and it was awesome. And she got an arrow to the arm, was it? Shoulder?
Something.
Yeah, she took an arrow for her trouble. But she was like, come at me, bro.
But yeah, she is absolutely willing to wreck some people if she needs to.
Yeah, or she's just fed up. So, yeah, with Denise gone, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, because, she brought a certain level of authority to the situation as well, because they're... Kind of. Because they're
so much as anyone can.
They're keeping this all as under wraps as they can, which is, again, super convenient for the killer, because they can keep killing people and getting away with it.
But when an FBI agent dies, and it's not an undercover mission...
that might bring in some...
investigation.
Yeah, there's probably going to be an investigation. You're absolutely right.
But you kind of have to assume that everyone in this world is on the same level of convenient incompetence. So there might not be for a while.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that
convenient incompetence.
We saw that from the actual police in the last season. They were terrible. They were awful. They were downright
I heard
awful.
about that haunted house. No, there's actual real dead bodies here.
Huh. Interesting. You guys are the literal worst. The literal worst. So yeah, I'm still not willing to count out that it's Lady and, you know, her kid, whether that kid was a boy or a girl, we do not know.
We do not know.
What connection that has?
We'll see.
Yeah, what connection that has to Chanel number 5, and whether or not the dean was involved in Chad's murder in particular. Those are big question marks, and I would actually very much assume that they are separate things.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, because this is the one that broke the pattern, but now he has an entire hospital full of patients.
I would imagine that they will all be fine and gone by the next episode. Once the drug works their way through their systems, they'll all be out of there.
Here's hoping. Otherwise, that's an entire hospital full of people that he can carve up and do not great things to.
Well, if we work with the idea that Murder Hand Doctor is the killer.
Is the killer, yeah.
Then immediately knowing the answer, immediately having a solution and saying, no, this is the right thing, we need to treat them right away despite the danger. He could have tried to kill an entire hospital of patients.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a murder hand. Killing Chad might have just been phase 1 in his ultimate plan to just, I don't know, be evil. I don't know what the motivation is here.
The idea of ultimate plan and scream queens for me doesn't mix. For me, ultimate plan is like Modoc or something.
Well, I've been listening to a lot of true crime stuff, and like there are doctors, serial killers who, being in a hospital, puts them in the perfect position to kill certain types of people, and do it very discreetly, and then it happens. It does happen.
Ultimate plan. Like, that's what got me. Word choice. Ultimate
There was
plan.
a guy in Chicago that built a murder castle.
Apropos of nothing.
I'm just saying, I would count that as an ultimate plan. I don't know, maybe Murder Hand Doctor wants to turn this hospital into a murder castle. You don't know.
And I need a basement laundry room. It needs to be soundproof because I'm very noisy when I do my laundry.
He's building a murder house.
How I Met Your Mother while it was good.
Good times. Anyway, I think I'm running out of things to say about
Chanel
this
being
one.
blue.
Oh, you didn't even talk about that.
And in my phone, I still have the thing with the thing.
The thing with the thing.
I looked it up.
About the silver substance that she took that ended up turning her into Smurfette, which was an absolutely beautiful bit. By the way,
colloidal silver has medical uses, but none of them are approved. It's one of those I'm gonna drink wheatgrass instead of antibiotics sort of things. Like alternative medicine. Why would you? And you're not. Usually, if it's used, it's a topical ointment.
That's what I
especially for
thought.
rashes and stuff.
That's
like
what I
that.
thought he meant when he said, take this.
Colloidal silver is likely unsafe when taken by mouth, applied to the skin, or injected intravenously. Yeah, the silver gets deposited in organs such as skin, liver, spleen, kidney, muscle, and brain. This can lead to an irreversible bluish skin discoloration that first appears in the gums. Yeah. It can also stimulate melanin production in skin, and areas exposed to the sun will become increasingly discolored. So,
wouldn't it be funny if she was blue for the rest of the series?
How many hours of makeup is that?
Lots.
It's basically taking... It's basically taking something that kind of happens in real life and applying the Ryan Murphy treatment to it, writ large.
She's blue now. She's Smurfette with her, especially with the platinum blonde hair.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she looked exactly like a human Smurfette. And, again, worked very well for Halloween.
I mean, my mom once knew someone who ate pretty much nothing but carrots and literally turned orange.
Yep, that's the thing that happens.
That's a thing.
That is a thing that happens if you eat too many
Stranger
carrots.
than fiction!
Gosh, and...
So that was colloidal silver. Don't do it. And that's the second really weird arcane thing that he has pulled out of nowhere. Like, here's your treatment. It's this thing that's not recommended by physicians anywhere ever. And she says, like, what about, like, bacitracin or something? Nah, just do this.
Which goes to show she is learning, a lot of stuff while she's there.
And he tells her to take it, as in take it, not apply it. Word choice.
Yeah, and not only that, but, like, you have to wonder if he did both of these misdiagnoses on purpose, because earlier that day, she was planning on marrying Chad. Mm-hmm. He supposedly slept with the dean. Again, the validity of that I call into question.
Yeah.
Especially since he winked at the dean. That could be taken either way.
Well, I think that was more of she said his alibi was airtight and he was hugging her and then winked like, hey, we're going to keep the secret. And then she tells her anyway.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like that was one of those.
But like I said, they might not have slept together. They might have committed the murder together.
This is true.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing to prove it one way or another as of yet.
But, 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. So if that's the case, he's probably next on her hit list.
Probably. Anyway, so I'm wondering if he did that on purpose. For one, to get, like, back at Chanel because he's mad that she picked Chad over him. Or 2, he did it on purpose so that she could come to him going, oh, please cure me. And he's like, I'll take care of you. Don't worry.
After I go to the dry cleaners and have my appointment and do all this other stuff.
Yeah, like that whole, like, I'll take care of you, but I want you to know how low on my priority list you are since you chose someone else.
Yeah, like, it's just...
Although getting to the dry cleaners is important.
So, yeah. Yeah, it really is. But yeah, giving her that medicine and telling her to take it orally and then be like, oh, someone must have messed with it. Oh, honey, you caused an incurable condition in a hospital for incurable conditions. You've also made Chanel a patient.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is a great observation. Oh, snap. Ooh.
So keep the comments spoiler free.
I immediately want to watch the next episode.
I know, right? But it's Chanel. She has plot armor for a chunk of time.
Yeah. But like that would be the ultimate like thing. Although I don't know if I would want to keep watching if Chanel died fairly soon.
I said,
definitely-
for a chunk of time. That is like second to last episode. She does, Zayday does, and the Dean does.
Habba-dabba-doo-dum.
Bleh.
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub. Those were the words I was trying to. That was the reference I was trying to make.
We all tried.
We did. We failed.
I want bamboo.
Da-da-da.
Tutti frutti. Holiday.
Are those the words? Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
It just still sounded like gibberish to me.
That's because it is, but those are the words.
Okay, great. The made up words. I'm glad.
The words to Tutti Frutti.
Yes.
I met a gal named Daisy. She almost
There were
got me
actual words in
crazy.
that song?
In the verses.
Nice. It's been a long time since I've heard that song in a non-movie context, so you only get that wop bop a doo bow wop bop.
Bamboo.
Yep, and that's about it.
I know.
Good for you.
I know the words to a lot of weird shit songs. Let's be real.
Good for you. That's awesome. Anyway, I feel like that's actually a pretty good note in terms of talking about Chanel is now a patient, and every patient that's been cured is a target now.
Like unequivocally dies.
Yeah, and initially what we thought was just, cannon fodder. Just like, oh, okay, we're gonna bring in this person, that way you don't feel bad when they die, is actually a distinct pattern in terms of motive.
Mm-hmm.
So that is interesting.
And now she's a patient, and now they've also established that no one is safe.
Mm-hmm.
The stakes have gone up.
Yep. I will,
Still a terrible costume, but the stakes have gone up.
for the green meanie.
For the green meanie.
Great. The only other thing I want to comment on was when Denise did fight the green meanie earlier in the episode. That was extremely
Putting
well
it through
done.
the wall.
That was great, and the reveal was great too, because like she's looking underneath the bed and you hear the dripping, and there are the feet, and then we get into this big fight scene, and I love the fact that she did beat the Red Devil in a bathroom stall.
That's true.
Completely unarmed, being taken by surprise. Like, that's really impressive, and that was before she had all this formal training. So she did put the green meanie in his place, and so both she and the Dean have kicked this guy's ass, whoever he is. Like, he's gotten his ass kicked twice by both these awesome ladies. And yeah. So that's why it's such a bummer that she's gone now, because it's always super satisfying when you're watching a horror movie and whoever the girl is throws a beer bottle in his face, or like actually does manage
Hits him with
to
a fridge door.
Yeah, trips him, in his stupid costume.
Takes
hits
a
him
picture
in the
frame
face.
off the wall.
Lot of scream.
Hits him in the face with a phone.
Lot of scream.
Mostly
Lot
scream.
of scream.
Mostly scream. But yeah.
Well, scream villains are human. A lot of slasher horror movies aren't anymore.
I really like that the conversation that she and Hester have. Like, you'll wear this Jason mask. She's like, literally everybody wants to be Jason. No, he doesn't.
No. I haven't seen the movies, but I know he's not.
I know that Michael Myers played the bad guys. Like, much of that is false. Anyway.
It was the movie he did after Wayne's World.
Something about what you just said sounds wrong.
Bless you. Sounds fake, but okay.
So I think that just about does it for
I
this
think
one.
it does. What an episode.
I am looking forward to the rest of this season. I know we're still super behind, but oh my goodness, if this episode was any indication...
This is what, episode 6?
No, this is episode 4. We are that far behind.
We have 12? 13?
Probably 12? I don't know, I'd have to...
Okay.
I have no idea.
Alright, because I'm just thinking of like all the different pieces that are on the board now and going, okay.
We
have a little
assuming there
more
are 12
time
episodes,
to work with things.
Assuming there are 12 episodes, we have officially hit the end of Act 1.
Yes.
Because first 4 episodes is 1/3. So
and
yeah.
the stakes just went up.
End
so,
of Act
yeah.
1, and this was a great way to end that particular act.
It was.
I'm very excited. Anyway, any other final thoughts on this one?
Nope.
All right. Katie, where can people go if they want to find you?
On the social medias and YouTube at Kiaxet, that is Kiaxet. If you want to see us react to things that are not horror related, usually Rooster Teeth stuff and also sometimes movie trailers, that YouTube channel is the place to do it.
And I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Menguin. That's TAGMENGUIN. Be sure to follow Silver Screams on Twitter and Instagram at Silver_Screams. Like us on Facebook, and actually something I just created yesterday. Silver Screams might start doing stuff on Twitch. So I don't know what my computer can and can't stream yet. So
Twitch.tv/Silver Screams.
Yeah, it's just Silver Screams. So go check that out. I'm
You can always
thinking
use mine. You know, Steam account.
there's that too. I'm thinking Oxenfree is what I'm gonna try first because it's fairly, it's something on Steam. It's something relatively like. It's not going to be like Overwatch, trying to stream that in terms of processing power, but I hear it's like Lost meets Freaks and Geeks, so I feel like that's a good one.
We can also do Let It Die.
Or die!
Or go back to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Or I feel like
Finally
that's been...
take a crack at that.
I feel like it's been too long for, maybe, but I feel like since everybody's done Five Nights at Freddy's, why don't you guys let us know?
Yeah.
Comment below, let us know what you would like to hear us stream/scream while we play things.
Needs to be not a terribly processing heavy game. Like, I can play Overwatch, but if I try to stream it at the same time, my laptop eats itself because we don't really have gaming rigs.
Yeah, we have
normal
very
laptops.
limited capabilities in terms of that, so that's why
it can
Oxenfree.
handle- Yeah, and it can handle FNAF, and it can handle a lot of Flash games and games that are about that processing level. Once we start getting into bigger title games, like we're not going to be playing any Resident Evil games on there or Silent Hill. It's just not going to
yet.
work.
I would love to tackle 7 at some point because people are just going nuts about it. So
That requires a completely different kind of streaming rig.
also, I'll be playing and Katie will be upstairs.
No, I'll be there.
I'm giving you moral support.
Suffering for my art.
Like I said, comment below. Let us know what you guys would like to watch us do. Because, that whole streaming thing is new to me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.